Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm Chase, and welcome back to my continuing coverage of What If, the animated Marvel show that hits Disney Plus with a new episode every single Wednesday. Last week we talked about Doctor Strange and him going back in time to save the love of his life at the time when they both got into the car accident. And no matter what he did, she was always destined to die, and he ended up becoming obsessed with it. And he did more harm than good, blowing up multiverses everywhere. They put the whole planet at risk. Like, it was absolutely insane, but a great episode, thematically rich, just this wonderful love story. The voice acting was the best in the series so far. Just a really great episode, and it really got me excited for the future of Doctor Strange and his world with, multiverse of madness and whatever else they do with the character. So this week, we have episode 5, which is the zombie episode. We saw this in the trailers. We were all curious to see how this was going to go, what tone were they going to go for, who was going to get infected, who was not going to get infected, what the twist was going to be, all that stuff. And so last week, like I stated, was my favorite episode, and it's still my favorite episode. This is a good one. I had a lot of fun with it, and it might be my third favorite. Right now, it's the Doctor Strange episode. Then I would go T'Challa as Star-Lord. Then I would go this one. And then I would go the episode where all the Avengers are being taken out. And then I would go Captain Carter. So that's kind of how I'm ranking these in real time. And so, yeah, I thought it was a fun one. I'm a fan of horror films, fan of horror comedies, and I thought they blended this one with those two genres quite well. So, yeah, it's one of those things to where I would love to see a full-length movie based on it, just for my own selfishness. It was just a lot of fun to watch. So, in this episode we have Hulk coming down from the skies, crashing down to Earth, warning everyone of Thanos' arrival. And of course, he realizes that there's not that many people around, and mostly everyone is infected. There are some Avengers that are infected, there are some that are not, and the ones that are not are the ones that band together to figure out how to stop this before the outbreak gets even worse. So that is where our story goes. And I thought this was a great blend of horror comedy for sure. To get into some of the horror elements, first of all, this episode is super gory. I don't know how they got away with a bunch of stuff. Maybe because they're zombies and it's not technically red blood. It's like this black goo coming out of them. Either way, it really made a difference to know that they were going to push the envelope and have it go there, because most zombie films are like that. And so that was really appreciative just as a horror fan. Also, each scene had a really nice level of tension and suspense to really just kind of keep those wheels moving on this story, and really just make you feel like you're a part of this threat level that these Avengers are going through, and you feel like there's zombies lurking around every single corner. So the atmosphere and the scenes that are built up are really, really palpable, and I had a blast watching it. And I really just wanted to see a full-length feature on this story. That's how good it was. And so just on a pure entertainment level, it got me hooked for sure. And then the comedy aspect, it's actually quite funny. The comedic timing from Paul Rudd, who is, I would say, the comedic anchor on this episode, really sells it. And it's great to know that he can have so much fun, not only playing this character in live action, but also in a recording booth, and bring his animated version to life. Everyone else has their little jabs and their little jokes, just to kind of make sure this episode isn't too heavy, because it is still Disney. You have to appeal to families. So they do have that element. But I think the horror comedy actually works while still keeping a threat level there, and a danger present throughout the entire thing. So, yeah, I really enjoyed the comedic angle as well. The voice performances, I think most of them came back to do their characters on this episode. Once again, makes a huge difference. And I really felt the charisma and the energy that those actors bring on screen to the small screen in animated form. That was great. And the fact that these were zombies this episode really showcased another level of animation and just creative depth that the other episodes had. It's a different genre play, and just this animation works for it, because it just feels creepy, and it's that kind of mocap look to it, and just it really does have an effect on the way the whole thing looks. So overall, I really had fun with this episode. Like I said, it's kind of in the middle of the road for me, but definitely an easy watch to for sure. And I just love this show and the fact that every single episode is so different from the previous. Like, you just don't know what to expect. But anyways, let me know down below what you thought of this episode. In terms of spoilers, really nothing to talk about except for the very end. So those are my overall thoughts for the episode. To get into some spoiler territory right now, here's your warning, 3, 2, 1. Really not much to talk about. The main Avenger that becomes infected and is basically a villain in showcasing her evil side is Wanda. And seeing this in Doctor Strange previous week back to back, it's one of those things to where I think they're really kind of pushing, like, hey, this could actually happen. This one could turn evil. This one could turn evil at some point. So get ready for it. And it was pretty awesome to see, to know that, like, her powers can be so deadly like that. Even as a zombie, like, I can't even imagine what it's probably even more powerful when she's, not dead. But yeah, it was pretty awesome to see Wanda as like the main zombie in this episode. But yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of spoilers. Pretty really nothing that stood out. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And the outbreak starts from Hank going into the quantum realm to save his wife, and she's actually infected with this quantum realm virus, and she's the one that bites him. They shoot up back to the surface, and like then they affect everyone. So that's how it starts. So I guess that'd be considered a spoiler, but yeah, that's pretty much it for that. So yes, let me know down below what you thought of this episode. I had a lot of fun with it. Hopefully you did as well. But that will do it for this review of episode 5 of What If. And tune in next time for episode 6 of What If, as I continue to talk about the show. And I love doing it every single week. And I hope you guys are enjoying this coverage. So that will do it for this one right here. And I'll see you guys for the next one. Goodbye.